everyone, this is Ange with another War and Glory War recap, and we just had a totally awesome war. It was really hard fought, and we were really excited about it, so we decided to do something a little bit special for the war recap here. And I have a special guest with me. It's JP. He is, for everybody in the clan, you obviously know he's our leader. How's it going, JP? Welcome.
Hey Ange, thanks for having me on. This was a really fun war, and I'm glad to be here. We had a great time watching all of these acts, and just switch it to really everyone in the clan. Everybody's congealed really well, and we're seeing some really great attacks, and maybe people are just excited about the YouTube channel, but it's been really fun to see what people have come up with. In fact, we're highlighting 6 attacks, so it's a little bit of a longer war recap, but it's going to be worth it.
Totally. So, I want to just show briefly what they did to our bases. Our Town Hall 10s held up really well up at the top, and then our 9s also, for the most part, held them to 2 stars. But these guys, you know, they attacked better than a lot of clans that we see. You agree, JP?
Yeah, they put up a pretty good fight. As usual, they were putting fewer stars on the top bases than we were, and that's really where it kind of comes down to it when they started hitting for 2 stars on Town Hall 9s, and as you can see on 1 and 2, they weren't able to get a star. So that does make a pretty big difference, and so that in the middle of the war, sometimes you're wondering, how's this going to shake out? But it always ends up panning out, or usually ends up panning out this way, and it was another good example of the importance of hitting well up high.
Absolutely. And speaking of hitting well up high, our Town Hall 10s, like they always do, totally killed it. We got Clever up here on their 1 and 2 for 2 really solid attacks for 2 stars on each of those. And then we had what we would consider a perfect war. We got all of their Town Hall 10s 2-starred and all of their Town Hall 9s and below 3-starred. So big shout out to everyone at War and Glory. Just like JP said earlier, you know, everybody was just really on point for this war. So what we want to start with is actually show a 2-star on their number 1 base. A lot of times we focus on the 3-star attacks, but 2 stars can be an integral part of our attack strategy or our war strategy. So I want to show this because it's a really, really great attack by ClubberLang. As you can see, you know, pretty much maxed out base. He's got a few walls left and a couple hero upgrades, but besides that, he's completely maxed out Town Hall 10.
Clever does a great job on this base. You'll notice the army composition is actually pretty simple. You've got a bunch of tanks. We'll see that he's got a big clan castle, so 7 golems, 15 whiz, and then he just has his heroes at 35s. And notice that when he goes in, he actually doesn't have anything to take care of the Infernos other than his columns. He doesn't have a free spell, and he doesn't need it because the rays from the Infernos are going to get completely sucked up by these golems.
Yeah, it's totally amazing what happens when you get all those golems out front and then just a few wizards. Those guys pump out massive amounts of damage, so you don't really need a ton of them. He brings 15, which I guess is a lot, but you know, it's sort of like JP was saying. You know, he's not got, you know, no witches. He doesn't have a lot of other things here. It's just these wizards, and they bring so much firepower when the golems are doing all that tanking. So he gets them all in the core here. Beautiful rage spell. That's exactly where he needs it. He's got to get it. You know, he's relying on that queen and the king to take down the town hall for the most part. Golems are just there to tank, and there you got it already 2 stars. So everything else is just gravy at this point.
He does a great job at executing this strategy. You notice the funnel and on the sides went in really well. He puts the first 3 jump spells down, and then that 4th spell is delayed just a little bit to kind of get everything funneling in just right. And not every base will work with this army composition, but when you have a base that both this way, ClubberLang gets pretty excited to use this army composition because it's a lot of fun to watch and for him to execute.
Absolutely. Alright, the next attack we're going to watch is actually by a Town Hall 9 attacking up on a Town Hall 10. So we were banging on all 4 cylinders this war, and you know, we had some attacks to burn at the end, so some people were trying some different stuff, and one thing that was happening was Tyebar decided to go ahead and see if he could 2-star and potentially 3-star a Town Hall 10. So as you can see, I'm just going to pause it real quick. These are level 3 Infernos. He's got one that's set on single and one that's set on multi. So, you know, this is a really, really difficult base for a Town Hall 9 to attack. So what he does is he just kind of recognizes that he's just got these 6 compartments in this base, with this outer ring sort of compartment being huge. So he brings, you know, a Hocus Pocus attack. He targets on this top side because he wants to get that multi-inferno down first. That's the most important thing, and then just let his witches do some work. So, just create, you know, drops 2 jump spells, creates a little bit of a funnel, and then drops 16 witches all at the top side, and then just, you know, pours into the base.
And you make a good point. He was going for the 3-star on this attack, and the fact that he overcomes that top inferno that's on multi is really integral to this attack. Had he come in from the bottom, his troops would have been fizzling out so much that by the time they got within range maybe of the TH even, the chance he could possibly not even get the Town Hall down. And certainly he wouldn't have a very good chance of getting the 3-star. So the fact that he overwhelms top inferno first, it's pretty important on this. Aiming for a 3-star.
Absolutely. Got a little bit unlucky there. He dropped that jump spell just a touch early, and it fizzled out just in the worst timing for him. So now his skellies actually have to bash through that wall there, but it doesn't slow him up too much. He's got tons of skellies there. Just this single target Inferno at this point, which is doing totally nothing to his witches. So it really boils down to, you know, it's a really great attack, really good attempt, but there ended up just being a little bit too much splash damage. He's got these mortars here at the bottom that he just can't quite get to, and then these 2 wizard towers as well that, you know, just don't quite allow it to happen. But really, really great attempt, Tyebar.
Well, this is into a 3-star attack. It's really important that Tyebar was shooting on all 10 and getting that too, because there will be, you know, occasionally we will have a war where we don't take out all the Town Hall 10s and we need help from a Town Hall 9 on one of the lower 10s or something. And so it's great that Tyebar's able to come in, get the 2-star on a Town Hall 10, even as a Town Hall 9, and that just really helps increase our ability to, you know, get all those stars up top, even in a more difficult war than this.
Yeah, absolutely. He makes it look almost easy too. Just super high percentage 2-star attack on a Town Hall 10 as a Town Hall 9. Awesome work, Tyebar. Alright, the next attack that we are going to watch is by Aflac on their number 8, and this base ended up being 3-starred a couple times, just because, like I said, we were all looking for practice. You can see this is an anti-3-star base, and these guys were mostly running anti-3-star bases on their Town Hall 9s, which was really exciting for us because we don't get a ton of opportunity to practice on those in normal wars. So, you know, we saw these bases, we got the stars up on the board early, and then we started, you know, practicing and hitting these higher bases. So,
and just a note, internally for the clan here, we did have a couple of hits on this, and I believe it was Clowek hit this base first, and he did a clean walk, which went up the side, and there were a lot of things that kind of went his way, but it was awesome to see him working with that composition, since we don't use that as often yet. We've been working on, I guess it's a little bit newer for us to use that very often more. So he had a great attack on this earlier. We have one other one that we want to highlight because he was really on the roll this war. But this is a really fun attack by Aflac, and he does a really great job. And one of the things that you'll notice is he has 4 Quakes. And most of the time we see Quakes used at Town Hall 10, but more and more we're seeing people who are figuring out really great ways to use those quakes to open up the bases, open up all the compartments and take advantage of that.
Yeah, absolutely. So this was a super interesting attack. As you can see, with these anti-3-star bases, you kind of bring these really weird attacks that have all sorts of different facets to them. So he's got his kill squad. He's got 5 witches here. He's got hogs. He's got loons, and you're going to see how he kind of just orchestrates all of this into a really, really great attack onto a difficult base. So just gets his golems, creates a funnel, everything's going in, and then here in a second he drops his quakes just to bust that wide open. So take a look at the base. You can get all the way down in this compartment, all the way through here. Just makes this base wide open for those golems to get in there and start tanking. And he's got those 5 witches and all their skellies dripping giant bombs and just doing work in there. So then he starts. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say that he does a great job. He uses his witches and his kill squad up here with the open section, and then notice that he takes this base kind of chunk by chunk. I'll let you go ahead and continue with what you were saying, but he's bringing in the hogs now, and he's going to use some loons on the other side where the base wasn't open and isn't as good for the skeletons to come through.
Yeah, absolutely. So he makes it wide open, and that's a perfect kind of section for his witches to take it out. And then he drops these hogs on the side, a lot of tight spaces, not even a lot of room for spring traps over here, so he just drops those hogs all on that one side and kind of just takes out the left side of the base. And take a look at what he's got right now. He's used 4 quakes and 1 rage. He's got a heal left for 1 defense. That's all that's left is 1 defense. He's got a heal and a haste that was completely unnecessary in this raid. So, Aflac took a look at this anti-3-star difficult base, decided he didn't even need more than, he took essentially 3 spells with the way that the dark spells worked and just totally trashed the base.
But what's great is that he had plenty of contingency. Yeah, I think a lot of times it can be easy to plan it down to the last troop and say, yeah, I think if I have 10 hogs, I can barely get in there and take this out. And then if it doesn't quite work, you may not have a contingency. So he had plenty of contingency to work with here, and I'm sure that he did a lot of planning on space. It was a good job.
Absolutely. Yeah, great attack, Aflac. All right. And the next attack that we're going to take a look at is by Clowek. Guy had a 6-star war on 2 really difficult bases. Like always, I like to point out his hero levels. He's not got the beefiest heroes ever, but he always brings totally amazing attacks with, level 11 king and level 19 queen. So he starts in from the left over here, drops two golems, and then wizards to create the funnel. Drops down the queen super early just to get her to start working her way inside the base. King after the golems to try to get those golems to tank up as much of the damage as they can before he comes in there and starts aggroing things. He goes ahead and uses the poison mostly for the slow there. Got the queen. She's going to start taking out that dragon in the rage there. And then already, this queen's still up here. He hasn't killed the queen yet, but already he's dropping these hogs down this bottom side. Really great.
That's an important one, is the early drop on the hogs there. He was able to get in and kill the queen. Looks like the wizards are taking that out right now. But those inside troops were tanking for a couple of the defenses, especially an internal expo, and I think another cannon, and that essentially frees up the hogs to take a free ride and take out some defenses uncontested.
Yeah, and he gets a really high value heal with this second heal here, and just as his hogs start petering out, he's got, quite a few low level or low HP hogs there, and just as they start to peter out, he's already dropping in these loons just to finish out the last part of the space. So a complicated attack, quite a few different facets to it, just totally on point. So great work, Clowek.
Yeah, he had some really great heal spell drops there. And notice that there were 2 double giant bombs. It looks like one of those were separated just a little bit, but the fact that he was able to go into surgical and take out this entire base with 2 double giant bombs in there shows the power of being able to do a surgical attack and plan it out so that you can lose a few hogs if you keep the rest healthy and running through the base, taking everything out.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, JP. I think, you know, if he had lost all of his hogs to this double giant bomb, I think that might have still been a 3-star because he had those loons in the bag. So it was kind of, you know, kind of his plan to get the hogs as far as he did and then drop in the loons for the last little section. Alright, once again, really great job, Clowek. We're going to look at a couple more attacks. The next one here is by Reaper, and it is on their number 12. Another anti-3-star base, and he has got a pretty standard surgical GoHo composition here. Drops a golem up at the top, a couple wizards to create the funnel on the right side, golem down here, a few more wizards to create the funnel there. Once again, super important. Drops that queen really early, just to get her to start heading towards the core and not to walk around the outside of the base. Drops the king after the golems are getting ahead of him a bit, just to try to get him to not tank up as many of those towers. Nice rage spell on the kill squad there, and jump spell, he gets all the way into this core, and then he's already on his hogs up here at the top.
So let's pause for just 1 second here.
Yeah, so you can see how much work his kill squad is doing because of how much they're tanking. He's got this expo and some towers up through here.
You've got the mortar pointing in, you've got a cannon, the internal cannon at 6 o'clock. You've got the arch tower internal arch tower at 7 o'clock. There's really a lot of tanking going on here. It looks like the 12:30, 1 o'clock arch tower is pointing inward as well. The fact that he takes advantage of all of that tanking in the core when he sends those hogs in nice and early, it really does offer. It's almost like having an extra heal spell or two in your back pocket because those hogs are not taking the DPS and they're able to just run through the base. Does a great job with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
By the way, I really love the funnel that he did on this attack. If anybody wants to go back and look at it, he just sends everything right in. And that's an ideal kind of textbook funnel job there.
Yeah. And let's take a look here too, JP. As soon as he gets in here, I want to pause it again. Take a look at what's about to happen. His hogs just run over a giant bomb here, but as you pointed out before, all these towers are pointed inwards towards this kill squad. So what he does is he just keeps according to plan and doesn't panic and doesn't drop that heal spell right away. And watch these hogs; they're all super low level and nothing is hitting them. Doesn't need to heal up on them. He just drops them exactly where he planned it before. By the time they get down there, you know, they're all healed back up with nothing having hit them the whole time. So
that's great restraint.
Yeah, absolutely. And then just the opposite down here. Hits a giant bomb and does it reactively. So that's both parts of it. You know, you need really good planning, just like you did that, and not panicking when something goes a little weird and just trusting your strategy. But then also, you know, playing reactively and reacting to the things that go on in the game that you didn't foresee. So I thought that was a really great attack that showcased, you know, how you have to play this game to pull out those 3 stars consistently.
Yeah, that's one of the real keys to being able to pull off these attacks is getting those heal spells down at the right times and in the right places. If you look back at where he placed those heal spells, those hogs were within the spell during pretty much the entire duration. He got a lot of value out of that spell, and that's because he placed it where the hogs are going to have to sit there and nail down defenses for a while before they moved on. And so that really made a big difference for him on this attack. And look how many hogs he's got left to get in. He's got a pretty decent pack with a bunch of other troops that are just kind of doing everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome job, Reaper. Really great attack. Alright, we are going to take a look at one more, and this was a Town Hall 8 attack. It was by Froggo, taking out their number 17, and this was a really great attack. As you can see, he's got a GoHo, which is a little bit unusual for a Town Hall 8, but decides to bring that golem and really makes great use of it. So down here, he just did a standard CC pull. This was a first attack, so he was able to trigger that giant bomb. That was a little bit of a bad decision by the defender to place a giant bomb on an obvious place where it's lure the CC, but able to take care of that. I got the CC pull, so it's And then, you know, Froggo always does really great dragon kills. Just super efficient. 3 wizards, a couple archers, and a couple barbs there as well. So take a look at this. Something really interesting happens here. He drops 1 wall breaker just to test, and Tesla pops. So now he can't drop his wall breakers there anymore because there's nothing tanking for him. So right on the fly, he drops 1 hog and then both of his wall breakers afterwards. So just really great on the fly thinking. You know, he's not just executing a plan and just kind of hoping for the best. He's thinking while he's making this attack and making decisions. So awesome job, Froggo.
Yeah, that's really excellent presence to be able to react on the fly like that.
Yep, and then does a 4-finger drop, 2 streams of hogs on each side. Really high value heals right here. You know, get all those healed up, and then as you can see, he's got, you know, after these archer towers on each side go down, he's got 3 defenses left with a heal spell in the bag just to drop right in the center of all those, get them all back to full, right in time to kill that kill that enemy king and start on cleanup.
Right.
So really well thought out. I like the thinking on the fly. Froggo, awesome attack. Got a whole pack of hogs left for cleanup. I split a little bit here and just start, you know, rolling through the base. So, all right. After we get done with this attack, guys, that's going to be pretty much it. I want to thank JP for joining me on this video. Super happy that we could get this worked out. It took a little bit of effort, but we finally got it going. And I want to thank everybody at War and Glory. They just did a really awesome war and totally killed it this time.
Nice job, everyone, and thanks to Ainge for putting these videos together. We look forward to having a lot more, and I guess clash on.
Yeah. All right, that's it for this video, guys. I'll see you next time.